Cardano price prediction 2025. ADA holders are sitting on a gold mine. What if I told you that Cardano is on the verge of a mega upgrade, but hardly anyone is talking about it anymore? Many people think that ADA is really boring. But today I'll show you clearly why ADA is currently offering the perfect entry point. If you miss this video, you'll miss out on a huge opportunity for 2025. So grab yourself a coffee, leave a like for me, and then let's go. Oh, and before we start, a quick note on my own behalf, since many of you have asked. If you want to support me become a 10x supporter on YouTube, it only costs you a coffee a month, but it helps me out a lot. Thank you very much. But a quick disclaimer, my channel is not financial advice, it's purely for informational purposes. Welcome to 10x by Marius, your channel for honest data-driven altcoin analysis. Today it's all about Cardano, also known as ADA, an altcoin that surprisingly few people talk about for whatever reason. So what exactly is Cardano? It's a scalable and, above all, environmentally friendly blockchain that aims to solve real problems, for example in the DeFi sector, but also in identity management in developing countries. They have a scientifically grounded structure. Cardano isn't just developed randomly, every change is scientifically reviewed. Cardano is also extremely energy efficient. Especially for investors who care about that, it's a major selling point. With Hydra, Cardano is planning a massive scaling solution. Up to 1 million transactions per second, and with Voltaire, real voting rights are coming to Cardano for decentralized decision-making within the system. Then there's real-world adoption. Cardano doesn't just work in theory. For example, it's already being used in Africa for agricultural logistics such as supply chains, but also in the field of education. Now let's get a bit into the technical part of Cardano. Why isn't ADA like other altcoins? Cardano uses a mathematically verified proof-of-stake model. This combines security, decentralization, and energy efficiency. And thanks to the UTXO model, Cardano has a structured and transparent smart contracts platform. Alright, let's jump straight into the analysis. Let's start again with the first point, market capitalization. Cardano is already a high-cap altcoin, but despite its size, I still see growth potential, especially due to DeFi adoption and the Hydra project. Compared to Ethereum or Solana, ADA hasn't reached saturation yet. That makes it attractive for long-term investors. A strong set. The second point, the circulating supply. 78% of Cardano is already in circulation, which is of course extremely good. That really minimizes dilution risks and naturally also stabilizes the price. By the way, you can find many altcoins, including Cardano, on my favorite crypto exchange, MEXC. Why MEXC? They have the lowest fees and they have the most altcoins. No crypto exchange has as many altcoins. So if you're interested in altcoins, I recommend signing up now using my link below. Then you'll be ready for the altcoin season and you'll also get a $20 bonus. And thank you very much for your support. Here, definitely a strong 9. Then the next point. How strong is ADA's roadmap? Cardano's roadmap is divided into 5 phases. I'll link the information I have on this for you here. Future goals, like Hydra, which aims to massively boost scalability, are extremely important. In the past, they have worked through the roadmap solidly and achieved milestones. And above all, ADA scores here with its scientific approach. A strong 9. Next, who is the team behind ADA? Well, everyone knows Charles Hoskin. By the way, he was a co-founder of Ethereum. The team has extensive expertise in blockchain and finance. And what's also extremely exciting is that they work with global academics. That's a massively strong foundation. No 9. What narrative does ADA actually have? Cardano's narrative is clearly sustainability but also scalability. That naturally appeals to investors who are especially focused on sustainability. But also in the DeFi sector, this definitely makes Cardano interesting in the long term. By the way, if you appreciate such in-depth analyses, leave a like for me. Thank you very much for your support. Here, a strong 9. What problem does Cardano actually solve? Well, on the one hand, it solves the problem of blockchain scalability, but also energy efficiency. It offers solutions in the DeFi sector, but also for identity management and supply chains. For example, as just mentioned, in Africa for agricultural projects. That is highly relevant for the market. 9. Then let's get straight to the point. How about sustainability? Cardano's proof of stake consumes extremely little energy, especially compared to Bitcoin. That makes Cardano one of the most environmentally friendly blockchains in the world. 9. Then they have strong investors. What kind of capital do they actually have? And where do they get their capital from? Cardano raised $62 million in the ICO. Above all, the Cardano Foundation also ensures funding, of course. That's enough for an ambitious roadmap. 9. Next up is ADA's competition. They naturally compete with Ethereum, but also with Solana and AVAX. In terms of market revolution, they are still behind all the others. What sets Cardano apart is its scientific approach. By the way, are you curious about other altcoins? For example, I've already analyzed Solana, but also AVAX. Feel free to check out the 10x universe in the video description. There are some really exciting altcoins there. I can only personally recommend it to you. Here, 8. So, how strong is IDA actually when it comes to marketing? Of course, they use social media and have quite a lot of followers there. The academic orientation naturally strengthens their credibility. But in the retail sector, they could be more active. They don't have much visibility there. Still, a strong 8 in that area. So, what is ADA's vision? The vision is to be a scalable and sustainable blockchain. For laypeople, it's technically very complex, but for crypto fans, it's easy to understand. Is the concept of ADA understandable to you? Write it in the comments. Here, 8. What actually is Cardano's vision? They want to become a global financial and social system. Projects like Hydra underpin this. That also promises strong growth. 9. Next, is Cardano deflationary? Do they actually have a max supply? Cardano has a fixed upper limit. Inflation will decrease until 2030. That definitely supports the long-term value. Oh, then, what about the fully diluted market capitalization? It's only 1.27 times the market cap. That indicates a healthy valuation, no signs of overvaluation. 9. Next, how strong is the liquidity? The score is 0.027. That indicates very strong liquidity. Pay attention more strongly. Next, what was the initial token distribution like? The distribution during the ICO was fair. There were lockup periods for the team. Here, 8. What about the top coin holders? Do many people own ADA tokens? The top 10 wallets hold about 7%, the top 100 only 20%. That's moderately decentralized but not perfect. 7. Next, what is the actual utility of the ADA token? It is used for transactions, staking, governance rights, for example in supply chains, but also for educational credentials, as already mentioned in Africa. That definitely demonstrates strong practical relevance. 9. Next, what about the ADA community? They have a strong and vibrant community. They have an extremely high number of wallets. By the way, are you also a Cardano fan or Cardano holder? Write it in the comments with the hashtag ADA. Here, a strong 9. Next, what events are still coming up this year? What upgrades are actually coming? Cardano was present at GITEX 2025. That took place this May. Another governance update is on the horizon, as well as Hydra. You need to keep an eye on this because it could massively push the price. Here, a strong 8. And then we come to the results. With 84.6%, ADA has made it into the top altcoins on my CNX ranking list. Extremely strong and still under the radar for most people. So, what are the top takeaways? Compared to other altcoins that really have a high market capitalization, ADA is still undervalued. They have a strong tokenomics with 78% already in circulation, an inflation rate that is decreasing. ADA is well positioned here. The roadmap is convincing, especially if Hydra really takes off and delivers what it promises. But Cardano has always delivered reliably so far. That means they have real utility. For example, in Africa, it is already being actively used for DeFi, education, and also supply chains. Real-world application, not just something on a white paper. Next, they have a strong community which is above all highly engaged. The wallets are also very active. For me, Cardano is really flying under the radar for many people, but that's also because they're not a hype coin. In my view, Cardano is at a turning point and could be a massive opportunity in 2025. And let's be honest, Cardano was laughed at for a long time. Too slow, too academic, too complex. But what if this slow and deliberate approach becomes ADA's superpower? While Solana is still struggling with outages and Ethereum was long plagued by gas fees, Cardano quietly kept working in the background. But now, let's get to the numbers you've been waiting for. How high can ADA actually go? So let's go through the different scenarios. Let's start with scenario 1, which would be the base growth in the bear case. If Cardano doubles its market capitalization and establishes itself especially alongside Ethereum, 1.2 to 1.5 US dollars would be possible. Then scenario number 2, if DeFi explodes and institutional money flows into Cardano, and if Hydra also works and Cardano really gains market share, price targets between 3 and 4 US dollars would be possible. And now we come to the bull scenario. Cardano becomes the neutral blockchain revolution, for example in emerging markets, especially with DeFi and management. That would indicate a complete growth story comparable to Ethereum in 2020 and 21. Yes, it took time, but now would be an extremely good entry point. By the way, if you want to know which altcoins I hold in my personal portfolio, then I recommend CNX Elite. This is a bit of self-promotion for my CNX Elite program on Whoop. Feel free to check it all out. I've also made a tutorial. Everything is in the video description or in the pinned comment. All I can say is it's worth it. What's important to me, ADA is not a meme coin. It is technically solid and has real-world use cases. Above all, it has a long-term foundation. And if you're thinking, okay, Cardano already sounds interesting, but maybe there's another altcoin with even more potential, then you won't want to miss my next analysis. There, we'll take a look at an altcoin from the AI sector. You'll see why NIA is so exciting and why I even have it in my personal portfolio in this complete analysis, where I break it down using my 20 metrics, including a price scenario. So leave a like, subscribe to my channel, don't forget to hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next video.